So I was talking to someone the other day and they said to me, Amy, I will believe that when I see it. And what I explained to that person was that really successful people don't operate with their beliefs that way. They actually use their belief a very different way. And I decided that I wanted to talk about this in a video today. So for most people, belief comes after knowledge. We want proof, we want evidence, we want data, we want facts. And when we have that, when we can see that something exists, when we know it, we say, okay, well then I believe it. Really successful people, they run that equation in reverse. They don't wait for knowledge first to have belief. They say, my belief comes before my knowledge. And I believe in things before they exist, before there's any proof, before I can see them, before everybody else can see them. I believe in them, and then I act as if. I act as if they're going to happen or if they already have happened. And this is how invention and innovation has worked for years. We used to believe that the world was flat, and now we know that it's round. But if it wasn't for Christopher Columbus believing that the world was round and says, I believe that, I'm going to go set out to prove it, we might still be believing that our world is flat. I think about Thomas Edison and the invention of the light bulb. And he was told for a long time, you are foolish. This is stupid. You are, barking up the wrong tree. This is never going to work. And he persisted on and said, I believe that I've got it and I'm going to figure this out. And he spent over 1,000 tries trying to make that work and eventually did. And when he did, he said, I didn't fail 999 times. I just found 999 ways not to do it. Colonel Sanders knocked on over 1,000 doors before somebody picked up his chicken recipe and said, okay, maybe you've got something here. And now, because he was willing to knock and knock and knock again on over 1,000 doors, we have KFC. And so there's numerous examples of this. Probably one of my favorites is Henry Ford. And Henry Ford at the time said, if I had given the people what they wanted, I would have just built a faster horse. But instead we have the T-Mobile and obviously have gone on to have motor vehicles because Henry Ford didn't do that. And Henry Ford has a quote, probably his favorite quote of all time that I love was, if you think you can or think you can't, either way, you're right. And what I take from that quote is all about self-fulfilling prophecies. And what a self-fulfilling prophecy is something that becomes more evident to us because we think it's going to be more evident to us. So if you think about this, if you believe that you can do something, you're going to do it. If you believe that you can't do something, you're not going to do it. That's as simple as I can put it. And so, for example, if you think that you're not going to meet somebody and you're really wanting to find a new, partner to date, but you say, it's just not going to happen for me. I'm not really all that desirable. I'm getting kind of old. Who would want me? All my other, past relationships have failed. What are you going to do? Most likely, you're not going to go to the events or the places or the locations that you're going to meet the right partner for you. If you do meet the right partner or someone that could be the right partner, you're probably not going to talk as confidently. You might come from it at a place of insecurity. You might, dress differently or just not try as hard. And that's going to lessen your chances of being with that person. You might get off an online dating site and say, you know what, I've been on here for a while. It just doesn't work. I haven't met anybody good. I'm giving up. And because you do those things, what's likely to happen? Well, it's pretty likely you're not going to meet somebody. And what will you say when that happens? See, I told you I wasn't going to meet anybody. I knew. And it's like, well, yeah, but the reason that you probably didn't meet anybody has a lot to do with the fact that you didn't think you were going to meet somebody. And so then you lived your life in accordance with that. You did things that made it less likely to meet somebody. On the converse, if you think about somebody that, let's say, wants to get a new job or a promotion or a new role at work, what are they likely to do if they really, really believe that that's going to be theirs and that they're qualified? They're likely to take a class or go to additional training to make it more possible. They're likely to find a mentor or a coach or somebody to guide them that's already been in that role to advise them on here's how you do it. They're likely to come in early and work really hard on whatever projects that they have going on, really work to build relationships with key people, really be visible in certain things that are happening at the organization at the time to make sure that they are seen as qualified and the right candidate. What's going to happen if they do all of that? They're likely to get the promotion or the job or the role at some point. And what will they say? They will say, see, I knew I could do it. I believed in myself. I knew this was going to be a possibility for me. But again, it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. They believed in it, so then it came. One of the things that I like to think about a lot when I think about this concept is Roger Bannister. And maybe it's just because I'm a runner, but I think I also really like some of the specifics in the story. So for those of you that don't know, Roger Bannister in 1954 was the first person ever in history to break the 4-minute mile barrier. And for those of you that aren't runners, that's a very fast mile. Roger was determined to do it for decades. Nobody had done it. Nobody believed it was possible. In fact, everybody thought if you run faster than 4-minute mile, you will die. You could kill yourself. It's like you don't have enough oxygen and your heart can't beat that fast to make that possible. It's very dangerous to do that. So nobody had done it. And so Roger Bannister does it in 1954. Within 46 days after Roger did it, a person named John Landy also went and did it. And so again, for decades, nobody had done it. The world record had been set at 4:01, but everyone just thought getting below 4 is this, prisoner's land. You just can't get past. And yet when he did it, someone else was able to do it just over a month later. Within another year after Roger having done it, 3 people did it. By 1973, 27 years later, over 200 people had done it. Today, over 1,600 people had done it. And so what was really interesting to me is that Bannister shattered this belief window we had of it can't be done, it's impossible. He proved that wasn't the case. And so once people had that knowledge of, oh, you can do it, it is possible, then everybody else went on to do it. The body will do what the mind tells it to, and our brains don't want to make liars out of us. And so if you think you can't do something, you'll look for and find a lot of reasons why you're right, that you can't do it, whether you do it consciously or unconsciously. But once we know something can be done, we can't have that self-limiting belief anymore and say, well, nobody could do it because it's been done. When Roger was asked, how did you do it? Like, what led to this? One of the things that stood out to me was that he didn't have a professional trainer or coach that was really working with him. He spent a lot of time by himself because he wanted to make sure that his mindset was in the right place. And he said to people, I believed that I had already done it. I saw it in my mind. It was as if it had already happened. I imagined repeatedly and visualized over and over and over again what it would look like, what it would feel like, what it would sound like, what it would be like, the roar of the crowd, being meddled, what people would say to me. And I thought in my mind, I've already done this. And I think that's very interesting when we're trying to make something happen and we're working to believe in it and really believe that it's going to come to life. It is very helpful for us to think about what it's going to look like, feel like, be like, sound like. If you're trying to lose weight, it's helpful to imagine what it's going to be like to be in that bikini on the beach and feel good about yourself instead of self-conscious. It's helpful to imagine what people might say to you. Maybe they'll say, oh my gosh, you've lost so much weight, you look terrific. What will that sound like to you? How will that feel to you when that's happening? And if you envision these things over and over again and it kind of allow it to manifest in your mind, you get much more likely that you will be able to create the reality that you want. So if there's something out there that you want to change in your life, there's something out there you want to do, something you want to have, maybe it's a certain amount of money or a job or a relationship or weight loss, you have to start, have to, by believing that it is going to happen. If you aren't sure, or if you worse think that it isn't going to happen, you are dead out of the water. It will not happen for you. Self-fulfilling prophecies are a real thing, and belief comes before knowledge. And so my advice to everyone today is believe in yourself. believe in the kind of life you want to have, and then get to work. Figure out, what do I need to do every single day to make that more likely? Like, what is it that today, tomorrow, this week, next week, what actions do I need to take to bring this about? And if you do all that, you will have the life that you dream of and that you desire. With that, I'll see you guys all very soon. Hope everyone's having a great day.